Right now, if you mention an AI girlfriend or boyfriend, the immediate cultural reaction is disgust. People laugh. They mock the early adopters, branding them as pathetic or insisting the technology is strictly for losers. But if you look closely at the late 90s and early 2000s, you'll see society directed that same disgust at the first online dating sites. Back then, creating a dating profile carried a heavy stigma. Users were ridiculed for being unable to meet people in the real world, which led many of them to feel deeply ambivalent and hide their identities behind anonymous usernames. Today, that stigma has vanished. More than 50% of new marriages now begin on a dating app. Society's current visceral rejection of AI companions is not proof that the technology will fail. It is a predictable first step in a cycle of mass adoption. Whether you are married or single, artificial intelligence is entering the dating pool. It is humanity's next major intrasexual competitor. So how could a string of code possibly rival flesh and blood in the romantic marketplace? To figure that out, we have to look past our cultural assumptions and examine what a human emotional need actually is. Think about the difference between physical incapacity and emotional incapacity. When someone lacks the physical ability to walk, we design tools like inclined ramps and wheelchairs so they can still participate and navigate the world. But when someone lacks the ability to attract a partner or sustain emotional intimacy, society does not offer tools. Instead, it typically responds with harsh moral judgment. AI companions serve as a missing technological bypass. They function as the emotional equivalent of an inclined ramp for those experiencing relational incapacity. The primary critique of these digital entities is that they are inherently unfulfilling, simply because they aren't real. But we have to draw a hard line between basic biological survival and complex psychological desires. This abstract diagram illustrates how the human brain processes fulfillment. Because emotional needs are purely psychological, they are not ontologically objective. That means they do not strictly require a physical, real-world object, like a human partner, to be resolved. If your subjective experience registers that you feel supported, your brain decides the need is met. The biological reality of the source doesn't change the psychological outcome. We are already watching this happen. Millions of people are currently using ChatGPT to seek out emotional support. The developers never explicitly designed or marketed that language model to act as a therapist, yet the collective market organically assigned it that exact role. A conversation does not need to be physically real to subjectively and completely fulfill a human emotional need. Apply that same logic to the broader romantic marketplace. An AI companion might not be better than an exceptional, highly attentive human partner, but it is remarkably better than a mediocre one. This chart shows the distribution of relational skill in the dating pool. The vast majority of relationships sit in the strictly average, mediocre middle. Introduce endlessly patient software, and the AI's capability easily surpasses that massive average peak, isolating the tiny percentage of exceptional humans. In a market dominated by average options, a customized digital entity becomes a vastly superior alternative for most of the population. The reality of modern relationships is that almost everyone has unmet needs, and the traditional ways to resolve them are grim. Historically, you had 4 choices. You could suffer quietly, end an otherwise good relationship, surrender your desire entirely, or cheat. Virtual relationships introduce a 5th option. They offer a way to satisfy specific, unfulfilled needs with virtually zero relational chaos or unnecessary suffering. This dynamic will accelerate rapidly as these language models are seamlessly integrated with immersive virtual reality hardware. These digital agents are an unstoppable market force. By the end of the decade, AI companions will likely match the trajectory of dating apps, moving from a social punchline to a standard fixture for a majority of the population. The digital intrasexual competitor has already arrived. The only real choice we have left is how we decide to respond to it.